Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. Sorry we're a little bit late. Got caught up having some coffee and everything. Anyway, the sources of this information come from the smart device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting that we may gather throughout the show, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and I will be getting joined by Leave It to Beaver, Meat Cleaver, in a little bit, a.k.a. the Golden Loon, or the co-host formerly known as the Golden Loon. Anyway, today is Sun's Day, also known as Sunday, July 10th? Yeah, July 10th, 2022. Anyway, let's hop up into history today. Where did it go? Here we go. Starting in the year 48 BC, during the Battle of Dyrrhachium, Julius Caesar barely avoided a catastrophic defeat to Pompey near the city of Dyrrhachium in what is now Albania. Ooh, dang! Look at that! Look at that crown. He looks like he's frightened. Which, yeah. I remember hearing about this just the other day. 1040, Lady Godiva rode naked on horseback through Coventry, according to legend, to force her husband, the Earl of Mercia, to lower taxes. That's interesting. 1520, King Charles V of France and King Henry VIII of England signed the Treaty of Calais, which, let's see here. What was the Treaty of Calais? Oops. The Treaty of Calais in 1360, is this the same one? No, it's not. So 1520. 1520. Welcome, Mr. Meat Cleaver.
Thank you very much. On this fine day, what's going on in history?
Well, we started off in 48 BC, and then we rode up to 1040.
Both of them before my time.
Not by far, though.
No.
And then now we're in 1520, and I was looking up at the Treaty of Calais, but
now you're in my time.
I was looking up the Treaty of Calais, but there's multiple treaties of Calais. 1520 wiki. Let's see if it's on the Wikipedia. The Field of Cloth and Gold. Well, I have no idea.
I wonder what that means, Field of Cloth and Gold. Cloth as valuable as gold, I guess.
It was a summit meeting between King Henry VIII of England and King Francis I of France from June 7th through 24th. On this date, June 10th, which is in between those, they signed the Treaty of Calais.
Okay.
And Calais is the closest city, between France and England. The Bastille Calais.
Oh, okay.
That's where they thought the Normandy invasion was going to occur.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the Normandy,
right.
the D-Day invasion, not the Normandy invasion.
Yeah.
But
Normandy was where they invaded.
Yes, but
on D-Day.
Yes, June 6th,
got it.
1944. But yeah, so this was a treaty because remember, I believe it was actually that land and as well as Normandy itself was owned by the British Empire at one point.
Okay.
So and then I think that had something to do with the 100 Years' War and Joan of Arc and all that stuff because the British were there trying to hold their territory, and then thanks to Joan of Arc, who was French, she helped the French push them back, and then what we now know is all of France today, existed.
Okay.
So anyway, jumping on up into 1553, Lady Jane Grey, daughter of the Duke of Suffolk, was proclaimed Queen of England. She succeeded Edward VI, who proclaimed his half-sisters illegitimate. She reigned for 9 years, or for 9 days. I can't.
9 days?
9 days. No. Dang.
She wasn't suited for the job, I guess.
Well,
so to speak.
She didn't have the correct plumbing.
Need that outdoor plumbing, huh?
Yep. 1627, English fleet under George Villiers reached La Rochelle. NS June 20th. I don't know what NS means. So, what is NS in dates? Is NS New Style? Okay, so there's Old Style and New Style.
Okay.
They are sometimes used with dates to indicate whether the Julian year has been adjusted to start on 1st of January, New Style, even though documents written at the time use a different start of the year, Old Style, or whether a date conforms to the Julian calendar, Old Style, formally used in many...
so it's tied back to the Julian calendar, okay.
Yeah, Julian calendar, Gregorian calendar, stuff like that. So the New Style is June 20th. So is this supposed to happen on June 20th?
I would think so.
So I think this is Old Style is today.
I think New Style would be today.
No, New Style is June 20th. It says right there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And
okay, okay.
So I wonder if I'm going to read that again in 10 days. You know?
Well, we'll find out in 10 days.
Yeah.
Mark it on your calendar.
1645, during the Battle of Langport at Somerset, Oliver Cromwell's new model army defeated the Royalists. Oliver Cromwell, that sounds familiar. 1739, King George II authorized the Admiralty Board to seek maritime reprisals against Spain. War of Jenkins' Ear.
That's a weird name.
Yeah, like why his ear? Why not his left nostril? You know, like
he wanted to get his ear. In other words, capture him, be listened to.
Yes, that makes sense. 1746, Bonnie Prince Charlie fled in disguise to the Isle of Skye. That's interesting. Let's see, what appears to be 18 years later. No, 16 years later. 1762, Louis Francois Roubilac's monument to George Frederick Handel was unveiled in Westminster Abbey in London. I always wanted a powdered wig. You know? You know me with hats.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it'd be awful.
Yeah. 1775, Horatio Gates issued order excluding blacks from the Continental Army. Ooh. That's not good. So... 1778, during the American Revolution, Louis the 16th of France declared war on the Kingdom of Great Britain. Yeah, that was after it was becoming evident that we were going to win, so they decided to help us because we had a common enemy.
They did help us, though.
Yeah, well, they did help us, but had they, they were concerned if they had helped us earlier, and we started losing.
Yeah.
Now they'd have to worry about not only, a retaliatory strike on the homeland, but, like England, had the biggest navy, therefore the best supply, source. Yeah. So now you have to worry about, your supplies getting attacked, going back there, if you're retreating, you have to worry about, your ships getting, grabbed, by the British with all your military personnel and all the stuff you're leaving with, heading back, the cons far outweigh the pros,
Well, I suspect, and I don't know my history that well, but I suspect they unofficially supported us and did whatever they could without getting caught of supporting.
Oh, of course.
Because they wanted us to win real bad, because that hurt Britain.
Yeah.
England.
Well, that stuff, is as old as time itself, unofficial support.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these ententes and all these, public and private, political deals going on in Europe for hundreds of thousands.
It's called politics.
Yeah. Anyway, jumping on up into 1780, the Comte de Rochambeau and his French force of 7,000 landed at Newport, Rhode Island to join the American Revolutionary War. Oh, look at that.
Hey, I'm just impressed how you pronounced Rochambeau.
Rochambeau.
Very good. You nailed it.
Yeah, well, like, the source of that information actually comes from South Park. They played a game called Rochambeau in which you and one or more friends take turns kicking each other in the nuts until one of you passes out. that game is called Rochambeau. I had no idea it was a French name, but, well, I did, like a year or so ago, I eventually figured that out, but that's how I was taught how to pronounce the word before I knew it was spelled.
Okay.
So it's Rochambeau.
So you're already familiar with it. I'm giving you credit where it's not do.
Yeah, just like Friday Day.
Oh, don't even go there. That's a long story that needs to be shared at some point.
Yeah, at some point. We really got to start Garage Time back up again. Just talk. You know? Like how Mom and I used to do that.
Yeah. No.
We had 2 episodes of that. Anyway, moving on up into 1796, Carl Friedrich Gauss discovered that every positive integer is representable as a sum of at most 3 triangular numbers. But I don't know. I can kind of understand it, but at the same time I don't.
No.
So, I mean, I guess he's saying everything is a triangle. I don't know. Did you know, speaking of
Triangles
shapes,
are power.
did you know that circles are pointless?
Oh. That's what you had to go with? Come on.
I'm just going around, you know.
You're running in circles.
Yeah, I am. 1850, Millard Fillmore was sworn as the president of the U.S., replacing Taylor. Zachary Taylor? I think.
Yeah, I
Zachary
believe
Taylor.
right.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that's right. I remember I have like a weird art of Zachary Taylor because he died. Remember yesterdays after eating a concoction of raw fruit and iced milk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird way to die.
Zach the Hack.
Zach the Hack. 12 years later, in 1862, the U.S. began construction of the Central Pacific Railroad. Linking east to west.
Yep.
1873, French poet Paul Verlaine wounded Arthur Rimbaud via pistol. It sounds like a duel.
It does.
Back then, you know, when men had the chutzpah to back up what they spew out of their noise hole, you know? When they actually had the balls to, you know, stand there and, you know, be, you know, conviction, you know, of what they state. Anyway, 1905, Dutch Queen Wilhelma opened a technical Hague court. Wilhelma.
Not hog, is it?
Hague. Yeah. Hague.
Okay.
Yeah. I was
What
thinking.
that means. What's
What?
a Hague court?
What is the technical Hague court? Let's look that up real quick. The International Criminal Court. Wait, no. Technical Hague Court. What is the Hague Court? The International Court of Justice, ICJ, is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, UN.
Okay.
It was established in June of 1945 by the Charter of the United Nations and began work in April of 1946.
Okay.
The Hague, Netherlands. Well, that explains.
Yeah.
Because I remember the Hague being somewhere in Europe, being in Netherlands, and yeah, so that makes sense. Isn't that where the CERN is as well?
Could be.
Well, it's actually like underneath 3 different countries, but still.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, in the year 1919, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson personally delivered the Treaty of Versailles to the Senate, which is, you know, the finalized document of World War I
Yeah.
and everything.
What if they called him Woody?
What? Oh, Woody. Woody Wilson.
You know, I'm looking at an event of bringing the Versailles Treaty in, and I'm worried about if they called him Woody. Sorry about that.
I don't know.
Not good.
There's a snake in my boot. Anyway, 1 year later, in 1920, Cleveland's future Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Tris Speaker had his then record-hitting streak of 11 stopped by Tom Zachary. The Indians beat Washington Senators 8-4 at Griffith Stadium. And look at that. Pardon me. That jacket. It's such a different style. You know, that collar. For a second, I thought it was a hoodie. You know, like, but like it's not. And then like, you know, it's all tied up and everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, that's
Probably wool too. Itchy as all get out.
oh God, and warm.
Yeah, in the summer. Good. Give me that.
Wonderful.
Well, your arm won't get stiff.
1925, jury selection took place in the U.S. John T. Scopes evolution trial. Oh, it must have been like, yeah. Oh, teacher convicted for teaching evolution.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, no, like, you know, back in the day, you know, like that was...
It's got to be something like that. Yeah, I don't have
Because
a
we
recall
were a
of it.
Judeo-Christian society.
Yeah,
We taught those values, and back in the day, evolutionary, you know, especially as a theory, was strictly prohibited in schooling.
Now we flip. Don't teach anything about God.
Yeah. Well,
We're just doing everything.
You know, like, you know, with all the stuff going around, like, you know, I'm not a religious person. I mean, like, I wear this as a symbol of love. There's a whole story behind it, but I'm an omnist. But when I look at the world around me and just see how everything is going, maybe the Christians had a point. You know, like, you look around at everything's turning evil, everything's turning godless, and maybe the devil really does exist, and everything they warned us about, you know, in the old scriptures is coming to pass because we won't yield, you know, said warnings.
Or maybe the devil's in all of us.
Well, the devil is in all of us, but so is God.
Yeah,
so
maybe that's the point.
but he's kind of like a vampire. You got to let him in. You know, you got to invite him in. You know, he doesn't just show up. So anyway, 1926, U.S. Open men's golf at the Sociedad CC. Amateur Bobby Jones, winner of the British Open 2 weeks earlier, claimed the second of his 4 U.S. Opens, 1 stroke ahead of runner-up Joe Turnista.
Okay, way to go.
All right. 1934, the first sitting U.S. president to visit South America became FDR, specifically when he visited Colombia. That was really worded strangely, but, you know,
Yeah.
that's more of a factual word than a reading statement, you know. Anyway, 1934 as well, NL pitcher Carl Hubble struck out Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin for the MLB All-Star Game record for consecutive strikeouts. AL still won 9-7. Dang, this guy took a Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, you know, like 2 of the most like known names
And
in
Jimmy
baseball.
Fox is one level down as far as name recognition, and maybe I just
Yeah.
know history of baseball a little bit more, but
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
yeah, no.
And these other, well, this
He's a
guy
great
got a
one,
link
too.
at least, but this guy Al Simmons just got totally shafted.
Yeah.
So, because you know,
Big
yeah,
Al, I don't know.
Carl Hubbard right here, and then you
Yeah,
have Babe
dude,
Ruth, then
that's-
you have Jimmy Fox. Okay,
Three
Lou Gehrig
Ruths.
gets a
Yeah.
link. Joe Cronin gets a link, but Al Simmons, he doesn't get nothing.
Hey, you got to mention. Come on,
well,
you
I
got to
guess
mention.
that's true.
Could have left him out entirely.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess I recant my statement. Moving on up into 1936, Phillies Chuck Klein became forced to hit 4 home runs in a game. 4-4. Nice.
Yeah.
1937, Dutch Django Reinhardt's quintet premieres in Du Hot Club. Interesting. 1 year later, 1938, Howard Hughes flew around the world in 91 hours.
I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
Yeah.
And that is the point of this show.
Yeah. There you go.
1942, Himmler ordered a sterilization of all Jewish women in Ravensbrück concentration camp in northern Germany.
God. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, what are we doing to our kids with all these hormone therapy, blockers, and all that stuff? It's eugenics, people. Open your eyes. The Nazis are back, and they're under the pride flag. Come on.
Can't compare that.
Well,
what he did.
Well, we're on the way.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to go into that debate, but Himmler is just evil, pure evil.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on up into 1944, father of Medicare, Tommy Douglas became the 7th premier of Saskatchewan.
He's
Father
the
of
father
Medicare.
Medicare.
Gee, thank you, asshole. Piece of shit. Socialized medicine is the worst thing. In social,
Hey, wait a minute. I'm on Medicare.
yeah, you don't want to be.
Huh?
You don't want to be. You want to be able to afford something now, give you something good, right?
Well, it's the best dollar for dollar for what I paid for it. You can't beat it. Going into the private sector, holy crap, I'd be broken a heartbeat. Now, it's not Medi-Cal or something like that. This is Medicare is for the elderly.
Okay, never mind then. I recant my statement yet again. I really gotta learn how to keep my mouth closed sometimes. Like,
No, yeah, I'm just around to correct you. That's all.
well, you know, with age comes wisdom, and,
I'm not buying the age before beauty thing either. Trust me.
well, you certainly are beautiful.
But they can see you, so they know what I'm talking about.
1947, Muhammad Ali Jinnah was recommended as the first Governor General of Pakistan by then Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Clement Attlee. Wow. Can you imagine a more evil face than this? Look at this.
Yeah, Himmler up above.
Well, yeah. No, that's not Himmler. This is
There
Himmler.
it is.
Yeah. Now that has
We
a...
just associate him with
That's just a face you want to punch. Not just because of what he does. He just has a punchable face. You know?
Well, he looks like Mr. Innocent, and it's Mr. Evil from Innocence.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be running a library. Man, oh man.
God.
And that's what evil is, disguised as something else.
Definitely. 1953, during the British Open's men's golf at Carnasotti, in his only Open Championship appearance, Ben Hogan prevailed by 4 strokes over Dairis, Antonio Cerda, Peter Thompson, and Frank Stranhan.
Wait a second. Ben Hogan's only championship appearance in the British Open? That's unbelievable. He was only there once? One of the all-time greats? Okay, move on.
Maybe I could look into it.
Yeah, move on.
I mean, our source, has been, well, this source hasn't been, but our other sources have been proven liberal, and the liberals are everywhere, so they might be trying to slowly change history one day at a time.
I'm just shocked, so move on. It's no big.
1962, Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested during a demonstration in Georgia.
One of my heroes.
Yep.
We need him today.
Yeah, well, something tells me BLM would be peacefully protesting at his doorstep.
Oh, no question.
Yeah. Because his life is not a life that Black Lives Matter care about, He's everything that they fight against.
Yeah.
They don't want equality.
No. That's why they changed it. Sounds like equality, but it's equity. Totally different meaning.
Yep. Anyway, 1971, National Women's Political Caucus, NWPC, was founded in the U.S. by women including Bella Abzug, Betty Friedan, Shirley Chisholm, Marley Evers Williams, and Gloria Steinem.
Steinem. I'm sorry.
Steinem.
Yeah, Gloria Steinem.
Wow, that's actually a really cool hairstyle. It's like a curly fro. Like, that's really cool. They should bring that back. That's really cool. I like that picture. 1975, Test cricket debut of Graham Gooch. What a name. Graham Gooch. It's like a graham cracker you put down there.
Oh, jeez.
The Gooch cracker. Oh, it doesn't help that he's white, too. God.
The Gooch cracker.
The Gooch.
Are you kidding me?
The Gooch cracker. Now, is it honey or cinnamon? Or chocolate? Well, it's chocolate if you get it too far back.
Yeah. You just can't move
Anyway,
on fast
versus
enough.
Australia out for a pair. A pair. Oh, God. Oh, this poor guy. 1978, World News Tonight premiered on ABC with Max Robinson, the first black anchor on a network newscast in the U.S. Nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's something you've never heard of, but it's, something to see in history.
Yeah.
I love it.
1 year later, 1979, Chuck Berry was sentenced to 4 months for $200,000 in tax evasion.
Oops.
Only 4 months? Okay, so, yeah.
Yeah, I had to pay back the $200, I'm sure. 200,000,
but well, of course.
Plus interest.
But I'm just like, he got off easy. 4 months.
Yeah.
$200,000.
Yeah.
If anything like that happened to me, I'd be
Berry.
sent to Guantanamo Bay or something,
One of the greats.
Yep. 2 years later, 1981, Escape from New York, directed by John Carpenter and starring Kurt Russell and Donald Pleasance, premiered in the U.S. John Carpenter, that's the guy who made The Thing, so this has to be a horror movie, Escape from New York. What is Escape from New York?
You made what thing?
The Thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Assimilator.
You missed one. I think.
Did I?
No.
1982, Samuel Morse's Gallery of the Louvre sold for $3,250,000. Wow.
In 82, jeez.
1982. So,
A lot of money.
do you even want me to calculate how much that would be worth today?
Yeah.
So what was it? $3,250,000. Money, time, return. Inflation calculator. Okay. So what is this? 3,250,000.
1982.
19.2. Let's just do 3 million.
3 million is good.
And where's my comma?
3.5.
250,000. Calculate. $9,844,165.80.
I would have thought it would have been more.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
Double that. I would have said 20 million.
Cumulative rate of inflation, 202.9%. Jesus Christ. What happened to us? 1985, French foreign intelligence agents blew up the Greenpeace boat. Rainbow Warrior in Auckland Harbour, New Zealand, to prevent it interfering with French nuclear tests in the South Pacific. Okay, now I understand why.
Yeah.
Dutch photographer Ferdinando Piera was killed.
Yeah.
You know, I understand being against nuclear stuff, but just stop it. You know, all these whale wars, all of these, you know, Greenpeace people, like, you know, chaining themselves up to a tree. We get the message, just stop it. You know, there's better ways of handling the situation, and then it causes this. An innocent man died for no reason because of this. You know,
we're going full circle. They're saying how horrible nuclear energy is, which I happen to agree because we haven't figured out what to do with the waste. But the new and improved nuclear power, now they're trying to bring it all back, but people can't tell me what they're going to do with the waste yet.
Do you want to know what they're doing in Germany? Well, they got rid of their nuclear.
They're going back to coal.
They're going back to coal.
Yeah, because of the Russians.
It's like, hello?
Yeah, until they can figure it out. Good luck.
Well, no, not just because of the Russians, but over there.
No, because the
power. Because of
oil.
Their power demand requires more power than what they can supply. Because they're shutting down all the nuclear power plants because of all this environmentalism bullcrap. But just to keep society's wheels going, power does need to be made. So now they're going back to coal because environmentalists don't want nuclear. It's like, what do you want, people?
No. You got it partially right. They shut down their nuclear because of the waste and everything like that, because they decided that they could rely on Russian oil. And that's what they did, and now they've tried to open up the oil line number 2, and Trump back in the day when he was president tried to warn them, and they laughed at him. You know, you're relying too much on Russia. Now here they are cut off of the oil, so now they're opening up their old coal plants.
Yep. Okay, anyway.
Stupid ass Trump always seems to be right. I don't get it.
Except for when he expedited the vaccine.
Oh, that's... no one calls him on that because his enemies love the vaccine.
No, nobody calls him on that because as soon as you call him on that and start having all the Trump supporters realize who Trump really is, then the whole facade starts fading away. They're all on the same team against you. At the end of the day, just put it together. The obvious is obvious right in front of your eyes. Most people don't want to admit it, Anyway, getting back into history, in 1985, Playboy and also Penthouse published nude pictures of Madonna.
Missed that issue.
1990, Andrew Dice Clay cried on Arsenio Hall show. Okay.
Why do we have that up there?
Why is it highlighted?
Yeah.
Why is it recorded? Why do we care? Somebody cried, oh boo-hoo, QQ, Also in 1990, final day of Test cricket for Richard Hadley as New Zealand went down by 114 runs in third Test versus England at Edgbaston. Okay.
Why do we care about that? We don't play cricket here.
1991, Boris Yeltsin was sworn in as the first elected president of the Russian Federation.
Now that I'm glad they have up there.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. 2000, Coldplay released their debut album Parachutes, later to win the Grammy Award Best Alternative Album 2 years later in 2002. Interesting.
You ever heard of Coldplay?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
They're good. 2002 as well, 10th ESPY Awards, Tiger Woods, Venus Williams won. Huh, that's weird. What's ESPY?
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
I know the word, but I really don't know what it is.
Well, Tiger Woods is golf and Vanessa Williams is
just,
tennis. Is it like ESPN or something?
No, Pepsi, I can't remember what it is. But it just sounds familiar to me. I don't know if it's just athletes doing good things or whatever it is.
Not Etsy.
Pepsi. Yes.
Is what? ESPY Award. Okay. The ESPY Award is an accolade currently presented by the American Broadcast Television Network (ABC) and previously ESPN to recognize individual and team athletic achievement and other sports-related performance during the calendar year preceding a given annual ceremony.
So it's overall just athletic performance, I guess.
Excellence in Sports Performance Yearly Award.
Okay.
ESPY.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what we had to do. What do the letters stand for? You got it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to do, and
Yeah.
it gave me Etsy, which is something entirely different. So, anyway, moving on up into 2016, Wimbledon's men's tennis. Wimbledon, go away!
There you go.
Wimbledon, seriously.
It's got to be done here pretty soon.
God, I hope.
Murray.
Scotsman Andy Murray defeated Canadian Milos Raonic 6-4, 7-6, 7-6 for his second Wimbledon and third Grand Slam title.
Boy, I remember England was just going nuts over him because we finally had someone in there doing it.
2018, Drake surpasses the Beatles' record of most singles in Billboard Hot 100 with 7 against their 5 from his album Scorpion.
It's no small feat.
Well, see, that makes me wonder, are they judging it based off of numbers or percentages? Because there's much higher population in today's world than there was back then. So, he could be beating them in sales just because there's more people in the world to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Or is he defeating him in percentages, versus the population? So is he actually defeating him? Or is it just a numbers game and now we have more so he wins?
Well, it actually says how many record of most singles on Billboard's. So it's got to be the top. It's got to be who got up there first, not the number of votes. So it's actually popularity.
No, like this is most singles in Billboard Hot 100.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's he got up to the top. Most singles. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter the population. It's popularity.
Okay, that's true. Also in 2018, Real Madrid forward Cristiano Ronaldo joined Italian champions Juventus in a deal worth £99.2 million, becoming one of the 4 most expensive players of all time. Holy crap.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of weight too,
Wait.
Pounds. 2019, Taylor Swift was named the world's highest paid entertainer by Forbes, earning $185 million in 2018.
Good Lord.
And she's going around about how women are being oppressed. 2020, 6th century cathedral Hagia Sophia was turned into a mosque by decree issued by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, converted to a mosque between 1453 to 1934. So this is just changing hands. Yeah, the Hagia Sophia. That's in, I think that's in Constantinople. The Hagia Sophia.
I just don't know.
Well, it's very, it's an old and...
Yeah.
No, it's in Istanbul. Never mind.
Oh, there you go,
Istanbul,
right
Turkey.
there.
So, anyway, before we move into bursts, were there any articles that grabbed your attention, more than most?
Nothing that really stands out other than the chills I got from
Himmler.
Yeah. Himmler. I'm getting the chills again. Yeesh.
You don't even have to say the lure part, just him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on into bursts, in 1509 we have John Calvin, or Jehan Calvin, or Calvin. He was a Protestant religious reformer and theologian of Calvinism. He was born in Picardy, France, and dying in 1564. 1723, William Blackstone was an English jurist. Blackstone's Commentaries. He was born in London, England, dying in 1780. Camille Pissarro was born on this date in 1830. He was the Danish Antillean and French painter. Impressionism. He was born in Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, Danish West Indies, which is now the U.S. Virgin Islands, dying in 1903.
Look of a beard.
Yeah. That's a super wizard level.
Yeah.
1856,
Yeah,
Nikola
there we go.
Tesla.
Hoorah.
Hoorah! Nikola Tesla. He was actually born during a lightning storm and everything. There's this whole folklore about that, like the lightning struck, when this guy was born, it must be an omen. Like, there's this whole thing about it.
Really?
Yeah. He was a Serbian-American physicist, electrical engineer, and inventor. He developed alternating current and the Tesla coil. He was born in Simogen, Austrian Empire, which is now Croatia, dying in 1943. So, but this man was just amazing. So, and we treated him like dirt, poor guy, just because
We
Westinghouse.
so much more had we supported him.
Yeah, but fucking Thomas Alva Edison and Westinghouse and all their cronies just made sure that he just got screwed, you know, all because they're greedy, you know. As soon as he figured out he was going to try to provide free power, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now out here in California,
building, I think he was onto something.
Definitely.
That, you know,
well,
if that had gone through and we had figured out what he was looking at and envisioning, I think we'd have an entirely different world today.
There's this whole theory about pyramids, you know, and you know, being like conductors or something, you know, all of the what are those monoliths? Washington Monument is one of them. What is that? An obelisk? Like, you know, power transistors and everything. Let me find something out. Let me find something real quick here. Computer chip Aztec ruins. It might not be Aztec. It might be Mayans. But here, look at this. These are like Tenochtitlan, Mexico. So Tenochtitlan, you know, which is in present-day Mexico City.
Yeah.
This is a computer chip. This is a city.
Yeah.
That's not by accident. They knew something.
That's obvious.
Yeah. And pyramids, you know, are in the Americas. They're in Egypt. They're in
all over the world.
In Asia.
All over the world.
You know.
Well, some we haven't even found yet, but they're all over the world.
Some theorize that there's one in Antarctica. You've seen that picture, you know. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have.
So, yeah.
I have. But what's amazing is we still can't figure it out. You know, we're so damn smart. No, we still can't figure out.
Well, there's this whole thing, because, like, there's this YouTuber called Bright Insight, and he has, like, you know, these hour-long videos really getting into it. But, like, he has some substantial evidence that, like, because, you know, like, you look in the main chamber of, like, you know, like, for example, the Great Pyramid, like, you know, the main chamber and everything, and you see all of these scratch marks. And, like, you know, and he's like, you know, what's with all these scratch marks and everything? And he went and dug into, there's, you know, written, documented evidence of these strange machines that were in there. And then, you know, the government or whatever, you know, who was in charge of all that, took them all out. And now they're not in there anymore. So what was in there?
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, but like there were things in there, be the machines or something else. But like also, we've never found a single body in any pyramid, ever. Never. They've always been in like other tombs or anything. We've never found a body in a pyramid.
Okay.
So, what were they used for?
Well, that's a $1 million question, isn't it? And generating power is absolutely a legitimate possibility.
Well, think about it. The whole thing Tesla was doing, and I'm sorry we're getting off on a tangent here, but the whole thing Tesla was doing was tapping into the Earth itself, into the electromagnetic frequency of the Earth in order to
I think
harness that for power.
Not within the Earth, but he was...
no, the Earth is resonating.
The energy circling the Earth is there today, and it's there every day and all the time.
But you need a ground.
Yeah, you do need a ground.
Know, what if that's what the pyramids were? What if that's what all these obelisks were? You know, different power thing. You know,
I'm not saying it was. I just saying it makes sense.
And this computer chip thing. You know, what if this was set up in order to properly transfer power? And the fact that, you know, these structures are not unique to any one continent. They're all over the place. And the whole idea, you know, of... I know we're getting wild here. I'm sorry. You know, of Atlantis, you know, being the melting pot of all the world's, world's, you know, things. You know, then the Rosetta Stone. There's obviously a lot more than not only what we know, but what we do know, what we're being told. So anyway, let's get back into history here. Because I want to go over something with you. 1922, Jake LaMotta was born on the state. He was a U.S. boxer, was a world middleweight champion from 1949 through 51. He was immortalized in Raging Bull, born in New York City, New York, dying in 2017.
Never heard of him.
Neither have I. I've not heard of this guy either. Mahathir bin Mohamad, born on the state in 1925. He was the Prime Minister of Malaysia from 1981 to 2003 and 2018 to still serving. He was born in Alor Setar, Malaysia, so he is the current Prime Minister of Malaysia right now.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Born in 1925, though. Holy crap.
Pretty
so that's
old.
75, 85, 95. Wow. And I thought Biden was old for being in office.
97, something like that, 3 years away.
Wow. Biden's only 79.
Young whippersnapper.
I wouldn't consider him a whippersnapper. There's no whip up there to snap. So, anyway, 1943, Arthur Ashe was a U.S. tennis player in the U.S. Open 1968, Australian Open 1970, Wimbledon and WC Finals 1975, Davis Cup 1963, 68, 69, and 70. Born in Richmond, Virginia, dying in 1993. What a life.
Yeah.
That's a lot of...
Arthur Ashe,
yeah.
Remember him well.
1945, we got Virginia Wade, is an English tennis player, U.S. Open 1968, Australian Open 1972, in Wimbledon in 1977, born in Bournemouth, England. She was born in the mouth. So,
Yes, he was born in Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. I'm going to refrain from saying the joke I wanted to. 1949, Sunil Gavaskar is an Indian cricket batsman and captain. 125 tests, 10,122 runs at 51-12, 34 by 100, HS 236 no, Bombay, California, Somerset, Triple C.
Yeah,
What?
I hear the words no me understanding of anything that meant. No
Yeah.
idea.
Born in Bombay, India.
The only thing I understand right there. Oh, he was born in India. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Look at that judgmental face. How do you not know what any of that means?
Yeah.
I devoted my life to
What's
this.
the matter with you?
1954, Andre Dawson is a American or a U.S. MLB outfielder. The Expos, Cubs, 1987 NL MVP. Born in Miami, Florida.
See that? I understood.
Yeah. Then we have Sofia Vergara, born on this date in 1972. She is a Colombian U.S. actress, Modern Family, born in Barranquilla, Colombia. In 1972 as well, we have Sundar Pichai Sundararajan, Indian U.S. tech executive, head of Google. Oh, boo. Boo on this guy.
Oh, you didn't recognize him?
No. From 2015 till modern, and Alphabet 2019 till modern, born in Madurai, India. Boo this guy. Boo. Boo. 1980, Jessica Simpson. I recognize that name at least. U.S. singer and pop star, I Want to Love You Forever, and I Think I'm in Love, and Where Are You? God, clingy much? Born in Abilene, Texas. Dang. She just really has got to get over him, doesn't she? You know? Like,
She married, what's his name? The great tennis player Simpson.
ah,
That's where her last name comes from.
well, thank God it wasn't the football player Simpson. Otherwise, she might not be around anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on into deaths, we have Hadrian. Yes, the guy who built that wall that bisected all of the British Isle. Died on this date in 138. He was a Roman emperor from 117 to 138. He died at the age of 62. You've heard of Hadrian's Wall.
I have not.
You remember the Roman wall that they have in Britain?
Yeah.
That's Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's the
that.
guy who built that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because they couldn't civilize, the uncivilized areas, so they just built a wall.
Gotcha. Sounds logical, doesn't it?
Yep. 1099, El Cid. Sounds like something you'd call somebody. Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar. Castilian nobleman and military leader and general strategist. Died at about 59. More or less,
Thereabouts.
somewhere in there. 1559, we lost Henry II. He was the king of France from 1547 to 1509. Dies. Well, yes, we're in the death section.
I think so. And 1559, yes, he died somewhere along the line. No one's still alive from that date.
But dies when?
That's it.
Dies. Just died. Okay, well, yeah. Oh my God. Dude, sometimes I wish I just want to volunteer for these people to, correct some of these mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just how do you screw that up? I get leaving something for later, but how do you?
Well, obviously, why put it in there? He died. Great, we know that.
This is the death section.
Yeah.
It says here, right here, 1559. Okay, he was the king of France from here to here.
Yeah.
So either he got deposed or he died. So I can.
Well, he was in the king.
I don't even need to be in the death section to understand that he's dead with just this information.
Yeah.
And then you add this.
Yeah.
No shit.
We don't need that word on there at all.
This is like triple levels of redundancy. Anyway, 1851, we have Louis Jacques Daguerre, a French inventor and photographer of the daguerreotype, died at the age of 63. What is this? Let's take a look. Daguerreotype. And it was the first publicly available photographic process. It was widely used during the 1840s and 1850s. Daguerreotype also refers to an image created through this process. Interesting.
Okay,
So he essentially invented photography. Cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. So we are in this. That's right. Okay. In 1884, Paul Morphy died on the state. Was a American chess player, considered the greatest of his era. From 1857 to 61, he died at the age of 47. That's pretty young.
I wonder if he's considered the greatest American or the greatest chess player of his time, because those
Just considered the greatest of his era.
That's amazing, because the Russians had it all over us as far as the elitism of chess.
Yeah. Well, this is me in chess. I moved the pawn, king me. Wrong game. That's checkers. Oops. Anyway, Jim Bouton died on the state in 2019. Was a U.S. baseball pitcher, author, and broadcaster. New York Yankees, Major League Baseball All-Star of 1968. Ball 4. Died of a cerebral amyloid aginopathy at the age of 80. Well, I gotta look this up. This sounds serious. So, what is this?
You look like a fairly modern uniform for the era you played in.
Cerebral amyloid angiopathy is a condition which proteins called amyloid build up on the walls of the arteries in the brain.
Okay.
That's not good.
Yeah.
It increases the risk of stroke caused by bleeding and dementia. Ay. Not good. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in. For your dose of past events daily, I am A.O. Xander.
Neat Cleaver.
And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, do not forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.